All right, let's jump right in. Today we're talking about something I think a lot of us have felt or seen, but maybe we haven't put a name to it. It's that huge, often unseen effort that goes into being a truly great teacher. We're going to call it the invisible labor of teaching.
I mean, you know this picture, right? The whole world's gone to sleep, but there's a teacher, still at their desk, just surrounded by stacks of paper. And it's not because they're inefficient or slow, no way. It's because they care, a whole lot. And that level of caring means the work continues long after that last bell rings. So there's a name for this, the invisible labor. It's all of that emotional, all of that mental heavy lifting that you just can't track on a timesheet. It's the real weight behind every single assignment a teacher grades. But what does that actually look like day to day?
Okay, let's break down the problem itself. Because grading is so much more than just taking out a red pen and marking things right or wrong. It's a deeply, deeply human process.
I mean, think about it. Grading isn't just about the answers on the page. It's about remembering that, that one student who's been having a really rough time at home. It's about noticing that tiny, subtle improvement another student finally made. Sometimes it's even about reading between the lines of a messy answer and realizing a kid might be asking for help without actually saying the words.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Every single check mark, every little comment you write in the margin, it's not just feedback. It's a deliberate act of care, made visible right there on the paper.
But here's the thing. That level of intense caring, well, it comes at a cost. The mental and emotional fuel that it takes to do this work day after day is just immense. And eventually, it takes a serious toll.
You see, the exhaustion isn't just about the long hours. It's about the sheer number of tiny little decisions. Every single paper is a fresh wave of judgment calls that just pile up and completely drain your mental battery.
For every single paper, a teacher's brain is going, okay, is this technically right, even if the writing is just a mess? Or how about this one? Did they completely misunderstand the question, or are they just coming at it from an angle I didn't expect?
And then there's the classic. I can see the effort they put in here. I see the thinking. Do I reward that, or do I have to be super strict and stick to the rubric? Now just imagine making those calls hundreds of times every single week.
This nonstop cycle of judgment calls, that's what leads to decision fatigue. And decision fatigue leads directly to burnout. Teachers aren't burning out because they stopped caring. They're burning out because they've given every last bit of what they have to give, and there's nothing left. So, if the problem is this invisible, draining work, what on earth is the solution? Well, it's definitely not about replacing teachers. It's about offering a quiet hand of support.
And when we talk about that support, we have to draw a really clear line in the sand. The goal of technology here is not to replace the care or the mentorship or that human connection that only a teacher can bring. The goal is to lighten the load, to handle the boring, repetitive stuff, and most importantly, to save a teacher's precious energy. And what do we save that energy for? For the stuff that actually matters, the stuff that changes lives. The one-on-one check-ins with a kid who's struggling, the long-term mentorship, those quiet little pep talks after class that a student will probably remember for the rest of their life.
And you know what else? Supporting teachers means giving them the room to just be human, to leave school on time, to actually go home and rest, to come back the next day feeling recharged with more passion and energy to give their students. And this all leads to a much bigger vision. This isn't just about making things a little more efficient. It's about fundamentally preserving that human touch, which is the absolute heart of education.
So to every single teacher who has been that person at the desk, late at night under that quiet glow, please hear this. We see you.
To all of you who carry that constant weight of guilt for being behind on that stack of papers, who feel like you're always one step behind, we get it. We understand. And to every teacher who has had that quiet, sinking thought, wondering how much longer they can possibly keep this up, the most important thing you need to hear is this: you shouldn't have to do it all alone. So let's build that future. A future where our teachers aren't just praised with words, but are actually tangibly valued, protected, and supported with real tools that honor their work and their well-being. And I'll just leave you with this one final thought to chew on. What if technology's greatest promise, its best use in education, isn't about replacing us at all, but about handling the draining tasks so that we can have more time, more energy, and more space to just be human with each other? What if it's really here to help us restore our own humanity,